What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm officially back and we are officially starting to build the engine. I know I said in the last video I was probably going to do the gearbox, but I ain't doing that. I'm too excited. I've been spending too much time watching people build their cars, and I need to build mine. So with that in mind, today what I'm looking to do, or should I say tonight, what I'm looking to do is basically setting the piston ring gaps and also mounting the pistons onto the rods as well. So for you that don't know, I've got the Wiseco Pistons, so I think the compression ratio is 9:1 or something around that figure. Standard K20 is 11, so obviously reduce the compression ratio purely because we're boosted. And that in mind, it should keep it a lot safer as well at those levels. The rods that I've got are Eagle rods. Now, originally I did want Skunk 2 rods, but I waited like probably 2-3 weeks and they still didn't arrive, so fuck them. So Wiseco Pistons, Eagle rods. I've just had a trial run now using the ring grinder, and it's tedious, a little bits at a time, but I got there, even got the gap all square as well, so I'll run you through that. But before I do that, there is actually a calculation that you have to do. These are the instructions. So the stock block is 86mm, but I've had mine bored out to 86.5. So the ring gap instructions tell you basically to divide your block by 25.4, so turn it imperial. So I did that there, which gives me 3.4055 inch. Then basically what you need to do is work out the type of application. Street moderate turbo nitrous. So then it tells you up here to basically bore times your column, which is 5 thou. So that's what I did, which gives us 17 thou for your top ring, and then for your bottom ring 19 thou. Or should I say your second ring. So over here I've already done number 4, so I've been in and out of here probably for about the last half an hour making sure I get it right. So you've got your top ring there, and they have like a little mark. I'm just learning this as I go along, guys. And then that's your second ring there, again, little N, say that's the top. And all I've been doing is basically putting these in to the block over there, pushing it down, making sure it's square with the piston. I'll set you on the mount, and then you can watch me do it. One thing, obviously, just looking at the stock piston, you can see it's got this raised bit in the middle there, so I'm guessing that's where this piston loses its compression, purely because that's got the raised part, and then that's a flatted. Right, so I've got the piston ring in. What I basically did was just basically squeeze them together and push them in. Just got to be really careful with these, because these are pretty fragile. Then what I did was put the piston in and then pushed it down. I mean, there is a proper tool, but again, hopefully I won't be rebuilding an engine for a while. So like I say, this job is tedious. I've only done one and it's taken me a fair amount of time, but there you can see there's the tiniest little ring gap. So what I'll do now, just get my feeler gauge, which is this bad boy, in a minute. So I think the other one started at 10 thou, which is there you go, if you can see it. No, anyway, so focus. So even 10 thou is a bit too tight. So what I'm going to do now is take the ring and take it to my trusty grinder. So I don't know how well you're going to see this, but basically this is a Summit Racing ring grinder. It's only I've got a diamond coating on one side. It's not one way you push it together and then yeah, do both sides at the same time, so you can only work one side. So it's got this little thing here for keeping it true. Now I did have both sides pushed together like that, but I found that it was creating a V. So what I've done is I've just held it on this side so the ring is on that side, and then use this to basically square off the ring, and then you rotate it backwards as well, so not forwards, because it damages the rings, and it only cuts, well, I suppose it'll cut both ways, but it's better to do it like this. So then basically what I've been doing is just doing 10 turns. There you go. Got a little bit of sandpaper here, like 300 grit. There you go. Just basically taking the burr off. Obviously don't go mad. And I'll pop it into the bore now. So again, we're back in the bore. Just check it again using the 10 thou. As you can see, it goes in a lot easier, but we need to be getting to 17 thou. So again, I'll do, so we know it's too tight anyway. So I'll take it back again, go for another run. I'll probably do, you know, like 15 rotations. Right, so I don't know how well you can see it. So that's 12 thou. Again, rings in chamber 3 or bore 3. I'm calling it that. So there you go. So we're 12 thou. So still got to go up to 17. Like I said before, it's quite tedious. So it'll probably take another 3 or 4 passes. And just like that, 17 thou. Boom. And look how square that gap is as well. So you don't want it V, you don't want any other shapes than a square. Obviously you'll get a load of blow by, and yeah, probably lose compression and the rest of it. But so the top ring's done. I'll remove that, and then we'll start on the gap in the second ring as well. So with the second ring, this is 18 thou, by the way. We need to be at 19, so that fits in, but the 19 is just a bit too big. So this will only take one pass. That's bang on, saves me a load of time, and then we'll move on to 2 and then number 1. Right, I keep saying right, I don't know why. So the piston is squared up, just got to make sure that's all squared on this. Just basically hold pressure on here. You don't really want to be pushing against it because you'll probably take too much off. And again, I'll probably do about 10. And then just remove any burrs. Obviously don't go too mad because you don't want to damage the ring or anything like that. Just any burrs that you've got, just take them off the outer edges. And just like that, we've finished the last one. It's the second ring. There you go. That's 19 thou there, if you can see that. So I'd probably say from start to finish that probably took me about 2 hours, purely because I was just taking it really steady. So what I'm going to do now is I'll probably just have a crack off camera, put in the rings onto the piston, and then I'll show you what I did, guys. But yeah, basically what I've also done as well is just marked the piston rings with the corresponding bores. So I know that's the end, obviously third one in, second one in, first one in. So I'll get cracking and then I'll show you after. Off camera, like I said, I built one of the pistons and the rods up. So you got your top ring and then your second ring, and then in there you've got your, if it'll focus, oil ring, and then your oil scraper, and then another oil ring. So they don't need gapping, apparently they're alright. Wrist pin and the clips, and these clips, they're a fucking nightmare to put in. Absolute nightmare. There's a guy on the internet, there's a Wiseco wrist pin clip installation video, puts them in with his fucking thumbs. Nah, that's not happening. Tang on the exhaust side, and I've just mirrored that from the stock piston. So there's conflicting information on the internet. One was saying put it, you know, facing the exhaust side. Some say put it on the exhaust side. So I've just copied, you know, what came out of the block. So it's just a true representative. So on these pistons, I've put the clip in already, so I don't look like a twat trying to put them in on camera. Like I say, they're not fun to get in, and the guy on the internet makes it so easy. So all I've done is number 2, number 2, number 3, number 3, number 4, and these are the piston rings that I gapped earlier. So what I'm going to do now is get some of this Lucas oil, this assembly lube. It's fucking brilliant. Just cover everything, lather it all up in lube, and then mount the rod. Just need to get some lube onto this. Just make sure that you're quite liberal with it, because it is really tight. I know from the last one I had to like try and back it in and out a little bit. I mean, this lube is pretty good stuff, to be fair. Just make sure that you get it covered. And then what I did on the last one was I just started it. Again, it'll feel tight. Then it'll just start sliding like so. Then obviously get your rod, get some lube in there as well, but you need loads of this just to make it slide. Just checking the orientation of the tang. So it must be like that, with the tang upwards. There we go. Perfect. So that's all the way in now. Like I say, it is really tight. And then all we need to do now is get this pin, oh sorry, the clip, grab it in there, push it down, and yeah. So what I'm going to do now is just do that off camera, because I don't want to look at it. So the first thing to do is put your, I call it the oil scraper, but I don't know really what it is. Probably oil expander maybe. So this is fairly flimsy, so you can just put it on with your fingers. No yeah. So this is what I was trying to show you. So when you put them together, apparently you got to button up just like that. Now what I learned on, you know, doing this the first time is this has to go in first, because otherwise if you put the smaller like oil rings in, they have like a little groove on the back of them, so these actually sit into them, if that makes sense. And if you put it in the wrong way, like it did the first time, then it won't go in. You have to I can't split these for some reason because I've got lube all over my fingers. And I chew my nails as well, so it doesn't help. By the way, this isn't a tutorial on how to do it. I would not recommend following my methodology. It's just that I thought I'd share it with you guys. You know, in my internet family. So there you go. So that's your first oil ring, or the bottom oil ring. See if I can. It's hard trying to do this and film it at the same time because I'm like hanging over the edge and all that. Plus my fucking fingers are covered in lube. Now these rings apparently are a little bit easier to work with, or they are easier to work with, should I say, than the second ones, because the other ones you don't want to start stressing them because you'll crack them and you'll see me start crying when I break them. Right. Voila. So top, bottom, and your oil ring expander. Now I'm not going to clock these just yet. I'll do that when I start putting them in. So second ring needs to go into this groove, and that is what I'd call the black ring or the darker ring. And what you need is this tool here. So this expands the piston ring, and again, you just got to be really careful when using this, because obviously expand it too much you'll smash it. So just remember the end has to go up, and then what you're looking to do is just slowly, just gently does it. Just keep expanding it until you get to the point where you can get it over the piston. And it is nerve-wracking this, because I just don't want to break anything. It's starting a different groove in it, of course. So piston number 2 is done. Put that to the side, and then I'll just crack on with the rest. Well, that's all 4 pistons built. All rings in, all the right way. So before we actually install these into the block, so we'll have to clock them in accordance with Wiseco's drawing. It's Wiseco's drawing, well, the diagram or illustration as I call it. That's what I was talking about earlier with the button up. Other things to mention as well is the tiny little oil rings that go with the expander. They haven't got a, you know, up or down. They can be installed either way. And like I say again, they don't need to be gapped. They should be fine. So that is that. I'll box them up. The head and the blocks are all wrapped up. So could have done it a bit neatly, but it's 10 o'clock at night. I want to go to bed. So, well, there you go, guys. That's the pistons mounted onto the rods and the piston rings gapped. Now, like I said before, it's not a how-to video. It's just me, you know, learning as I go along. I could have paid a machine shop to do this, and I just don't want to do it. I want to learn how to do it, and you know, there's no better way than just having a go. I know it's a fucking expensive way to learn, but hey, it is what it is. So next video will be pistons going in a block. Obviously got to check all the the clearances on the bearings. So I need to get some plastic gauge. I've got that coming. So Friday I've got a friend coming as well who's got the ring compressor. It's got a Wiseco ring compressor, 86.5mm. So stay tuned, keep watching, and we'll build this fucking thing. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.